God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen, God save the Queen.
Hello people! Welcome to the first first one of Two Brits, One Show! I am your host, DJ Chriz AKA the Mole, and joining me is DJ Fabdango himself.
Fuck off.
Simon, we are Two Brits, this is one show.
Hello, you bastards of the internet.
And unlike the other shows on
Yep.
the Pan where we hold your hands as we walk you through discussions about various films, like a review and stuff like that, we're not reviewing fuck all. This is just us ranting, enjoy. It's just us blowing up steam, yeah.
Okay, guys, girls, guys, to anyone who thinks that British people are just all calm and, oh yes, let's have a spot of tea to resolve our problems. No. We're not like that.
Yep.
Fuck yourselves.
Yeah. So, first up, any peeves you have this month?
The fact that I'm underpaid. That is a pet peeve.
Well, have you tried speaking to your pimp?
Fuck off. You cheeky bastard. Fucking bastard.
This is great. The fact you're underpaid.
Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. Okay, yep, I do work my arse off in my job, and I get paid slave labour. Like, literal slave motherfucking labour.
Yep.
And
I think part of that could also be, for some reason, the minimum wage doesn't meet what people say is the minimum living wage.
yeah,
It's the same thing. Why aren't they the same thing by now?
I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm on less than the fucking minimum wage, for crying out loud. Less!
Is that legal?
Yes! Surprisingly.
Fair enough.
I don't know, I guess I'm just fucking knackered from all the long hours. I mean, for God's sake, I'm sporting a beard. I haven't shaved in like 5 days.
Simon with a beard.
Yep.
For those of you listening who don't know who we are, if you're looking at the picture right now, I am the fat guy, he's the guy in the hat.
Yep. Only on this one occasion, since it's like 10 o'clock at night, obviously, I'm not wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Now.
They don't mind what time of night it is. It's whatever time they're listening to it.
No, bless them.
Yeah. And from seriousness of not being able to have the minimum living wage and stuff like that to my pet peeve.
Go for it.
Yeah, why did McDonald's stop doing supersized burgers and supersized meals? I get it. Okay, yes, I'm a fat guy. You see the silhouette. I go to McDonald's and I say to them, hey, can I have a supersize? And they look at you like you've asked for a dead baby. It's like, oh.
I had a feeling you were going to say dead baby.
I know. And they look at you like you wanted a dead baby. They look at you just as, oh, how dare you come here and demand food? It's like, fuck off, you're hardly running a health spa here. Fucking give me a supersized meal. I want a burger. I'm already fat, give me my chips. Or french fries.
I mean, I think it's just because, like, everyone, I think it kind of got kickstarted with Jamie Oliver and everyone just being like, oh no, let's be all healthy and health conscious and all that shit. Me personally, I fucking hate those health freak bastards. Hats off to them for doing it to themselves and all that, but fuck that.
Yeah, I understand that people want to be healthy. Cool. But also understand that people want to eat food that doesn't taste like shit. Like, look at the healthy alternative to bread. Rye-Vita, whatever it's called. The rye bread, whatever it is, where it's like, it's flat, and it looks and tastes like cardboard.
What the fuck is Rye-Vita?
It's like, literally, it's like a square block. Yeah, it's like a square block that feels and tastes like cardboard. I'd get more flavour out of eating the box of my fucking Cocoa Pops. And that's without eating the cereal. Just the box. It's that bad.
So is it like a fucking brioche thing, or is it just like healthy bread shit or whatever?
It's healthy bread shit that's basically like it's basically like a flat SpongeBob shape, rectangular. Let's use that as a term. Let's use that as a term for a shape. It's a rectangular shape where health people get that and go, oh, I'm just going to spread a bit of Philadelphia on it. Oh, yes. Oh, it's like I'm almost eating bread at this point. Ooh, num 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 num. And I'm like, fuck off. Prisoners get bread. Prisoners. Paedophiles and rapists get bread. Are you worse than a paedophile or a rapist? No, eat some bread.
I
may have missed the point.
Possibly, but I do get what you mean, though. I mean, because, you know, when they're all like, oh yeah, let's be all fucking snobby and ha 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 ha, we're so much better. It's like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah, you gotta hate snobby people, right, Simon?
Yes. Yes, I do. Don't let the posh boys fool you, ladies and gentlemen. I am from a common background. From the fucking northeast of England.
You're the son of a butcher. No,
remark. No, they won't. But I am the son of a postman and a retail assistant. So there you go.
Yeah, Simon's just like the rest of us. He rolls up with his sleeves throughout when he gets home from work before he eats his caviar, just like everyone else.
I don't like caviar. It's fucking fish shit.
I mean, come on. He's, like I said, he's just like us. He's just like the rest of us working class people. And just like you, at the end of a hard day's work, he likes to sit down, pop on his slippers, drink some port, and smoke a cigar.
I don't smoke anymore.
So you smoke port, and you drink port and smoke a cigar.
Again, I don't smoke anymore. I kind of gave up like last year.
But no.
Ooh, you know what one of my pet peeves is? Public fucking transport. Hate it, hate it, hate it.
I hate public transport, yeah. It's annoying.
It's filled with all things I hate. Screaming children, pregnant people.
People in general.
Well, yes, people in general. I'm a miserable bastard. I know I'm very happy and lively and sunny and all that, but bottom line is, I can't stand idiots. And when you have some mother who can't control her screaming brat on the bus, it makes me want to kill the child.
I know, it's like people always look at you when you're on the bus like you're complete scum when you're sat down on those seats right near the door, because, fuck it, they're near the door, and a pregnant woman comes out and she's like, oh, holding their belly and shit, and you're like, fuck off.
I mean,
if you want a better seat, don't have sex. No, I'm kidding, I don't do that to people. I do hate public transport, because whenever I'm on public transport, there's always some weirdo comes and sits for weirdos always seem to just come and sit near me. I don't know what it is, it's like I'm a freak magnet.
Good. Funny, that happens to my sister whenever she goes to work on the bus and all that. And thankfully for me, I have my iPod on, my fucking giant ass headphones on, and I've normally got my bag next to me, so people avoid me.
And it happens to me all the time. I'm sat there and then some freak just comes and sits next to me. And don't get me wrong, I say the same thing every time. I say, hi, Crispy, but... no.
Oh, bless him, he's not even here to defend himself.
That was a joke, but I do get freaks sit next to us. And the worst part of public transport is when people think, because you're sat there with them, somehow it's a bonding experience, like you're Anne Frank fucking hiding in the loft to avoid Nazis. I don't care about your life story. No, the second we've gone from here, I'm going about my life and doing my shit. I'm never going to stop and think, oh, you know what I'm thinking of right now? I wonder what that little old lady covered in dirt and shit was who sat next to me on the train and said, ooh, do you want to see my grandchildren? I wonder what my grandchildren are doing. No one has that conversation anymore. No one feels like that because you think, fuck it, when she's speaking, you're just like, I just want to tune her off. It's almost like white noise to me, because I'm like, I don't care about your family.
Every time I hear James speak. I don't mind chatting on the bus to people. If they can hold a diligent conversation, I've got absolutely no qualms about that, as long as it's interesting. But when you have some twat who's just whining about their life, yeah, a part of me dies a little inside.
It does. Or I don't like it when they try and be enthusiastic with me too about stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, did you see last night's game? And I'm like, no.
Oh, you know that crap.
Yeah, when you say no to someone when they say, oh, did you watch last night's game? I don't know, it was Liverpool v Arsenal or some shit like that. It's like, hey, did you watch last night's game? If you turn around and say no, they look at you like you're the freak. They're the guy that just came up to me randomly on the bus or train and asked me about a fucking sporting event on TV, which I didn't watch. Fuck it.
To be fair, you're a pretty butch guy, so...
I'd return the compliment, but I don't
Shut
like
up. True. On that note, though, I am in possession of a football top.
Nice, I didn't know they did them in women's size.
Love you too, sweet cake.
Yeah, the typing just stops. We can hear him typing. He's typing his memoirs right now.
That's very funny.
But no, I hate that. Like, I hate where people talk to on public transport, like you said. But I also hate the judgmental people when they work places. Which kind of goes into the superside thing again. But it's like, I was at Tesco the other week, and I bought myself a load of cans. Shitload of Coke cans, because they had an offer on, so I stocked up. And I bought a couple of pizzas. And when the woman was putting it through, she then looked at me and goes, oh, big night, huh?
Oh, charming.
When she's doing it. Well, no, she didn't just say it in that voice, but that's what I'm imagining. It's like, oh. Because I'm imagining they pretty much hate themselves. And it's like, oh, big night, huh? And part of me's thinking, yeah, big night. A couple of frozen pizzas and a shitload of Coke. Woo! It's like it's 1999. No. And it's like, if you buy, you can't win with these people either, because I've been in there before now and I've gone in for someone else. That sounds bad to say for someone else for this, but I've gone in there for someone else and I bought them their fruit and veg, and the woman puts it through, boop, and it's like, oh, health conscious are we? It's like, what? But then when I go through with like fucking Pringles or something, it's like, oh, well, someone doesn't care what they eat, and I'm like, wow. I didn't ask to be judged. This is why I prefer the self-checkouts at Tesco's and stuff. I don't want the woman speaking to me as if I'm suddenly her BFF. And I don't want her fucking looking at everything I do and fucking just, like, judging you. Like, oh, you're buying those, are you?
Yeah. Oh, you know what I hate? I hate rudeness in people.
I don't mind rudeness, depending on the situation.
I don't mind if it's cheeky banter like me and you have and whatnot, but I hate it when people are rude to others. It's something I can't stand. It's like not saying please and thank you. You know, like when you're at a restaurant and somebody doesn't tip the fucking waiter.
Yeah, I'm always tipping the waiter. Sometimes I tip them too far and they fall over, but still.
Oh, that's too easy.
That is. No, I'm kidding with that. But no, yeah, I completely agree. Where you get people who don't like to tip, you get people who refuse to tip, and I've seen it with small fucking money too. And then you get that. You then also get people fucking doing shit like they'll push in front of people in queues.
Yeah, it's like, dude, fuck off. If you want to get to somewhere, get here early. It's like, because up here we've got like a giant shopping mall called Brits there, and you got like shitloads of car park areas, and like the indoor one, you've got to get there at fucking 9 o'clock or something, otherwise you're never gonna get parked, mate. And you're out of fucking beeping and yelling and all that shit. It's like, dude, get here early, go fuck yourself. Speaking of which, I'm not too big on fucking I'm not too big on going to the cinema nowadays either, just because...
I hate the cinema.
I mean, it's such a pain in the arse. You never get anything good. I mean, it's overpriced for sweets. You've only got some drooling, squatting bastard next to you.
Yeah, I hate going to the cinema because it's overpriced for food, like you said, overpriced for drinks. You're in there for so long, you can't take your own shit, because that's deemed wrong, and they say, yeah, that was the best one, or my local cinema before it closed down was like, when I tried to take in a bottle of drink, sorry, it's like, you didn't buy them here, no, yeah, you're not allowed to take them into the cinema. oh, how come? Because people have been throwing projectiles, so you're going to have to throw them out. So I went, oh, okay. But when I look near their cash register, they have a fridge selling bottles of Coke. So I was like, what? And I bought bottles the same size, same type and everything, and they were like, oh, cool, you bought them here, go on in. Because our stuff doesn't become missiles when it's thrown, it becomes pixies. So what the fuck?
It kind of defeats the object, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you know for a fact they're only doing that so they get more money.
Yeah, I mean, half the time you've got to sneak your bloody stuff in if you want to actually get stuff in.
Now, I will admit I do like popcorn. Or a nice hot dog at the cinema. I do buy that, like, when I go. But I don't like it, because as well as that, obviously, because of the government's rule, which I hate, of the smoking bans everywhere, I wish they did it where they used to do, like, restaurants. I wish there was a smoking cinema and a non-smoking cinema, because I'd love to go to the cinema and be able to smoke during the film.
That would be cool.
So I was sitting there for 3 hours thinking, come on, Batman, come on, just save the day already so I can go and get a fag, come on.
Now, you know what you have to do, Moe?
Yep, not go to cinema.
I was going to say quit smoking, but yeah, that works.
No, quit smoking, it's healthier and you'll save money. Yeah, it's healthier and I save money if I don't go to cinema.
Just makes you save a bit more money.
Yeah, that's something I wish cinemas would do, or film companies. I understand it. It's like £6 to go to cinema, and to go and buy a ticket or something, or £7, however much it is.
It's anything from £6 to £8.
Yeah, to go and to get that. And it's essentially like renting it on something like the PlayStation Store or iTunes or something. Why not let you rent films that are in the cinema for the same price? Like I could rent, I don't know, fucking let's say I'm trying to think of a film that's actually in the cinema. Let's say 4-2 was in the cinema. I could have gone, okay, and just rented it from an online store and just watched it on my computer that way, or watched it on my telly that way. Why not? The film company gets the same amount of money, and I don't have to put up with people.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yep. It's like my peeve with which I mentioned to you the other day of the cream egg Easter egg. Disappoints me every time. Because every time I get one, I'm like, oh, yeah, and I eat the little cream egg, and I'm like, delicious, and I get the big egg, and I'm like, yes. I peel back the foil, I take a bite, and it's hollow. And I'm like, no. I honestly, every time I keep wanting it to be like a giant cream egg. It's a cream egg Easter egg, because they're eggs. And people say, well, it's supposed to be empty to represent Jesus coming back from the grave. And I'm like, okay, fine. So when I open it up and I see all that, like, white and yellow stuff that's in a cream egg, I can pretend it's his bandages he left behind. Because you know he left them behind when they buried him or something. But nowhere in the Bible did it mention Jesus stepped forward dressed as the mummy. Nowhere does it mention that. So his bandages are behind, which are white. Same thing with the inside of a cream egg.
Sorry to any religious people out there, but yeah, whatever. But mind you, to me, I still operate under the thing of, okay, Easter. It's about Easter bunnies and chocolate. Never mind the religious stuff. Not there to celebrate God or Christ or whatever, but there to eat chocolate and get fat. Or in your case, fatter. If that's humanly possible.
Yeah, well, I will admit, I don't eat a lot of chocolate.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like chocolate that much. I like white chocolate, and I sometimes like a good cream egg, but I don't like many chocolates, if that makes sense, because I'm like, I don't like the taste.
Too a bit puffy. Oh, do they still have Dream chocolate bars down there for you guys?
I think so.
Bastards!
And they also have a chocolate bar I swear you endorsed.
I'm going to prepare a fuck you in advance, but go on.
Fabulous Fingers.
Oh, Cadbury's Fingers.
No, it says Cadbury's Fingers. Fabulous Fingers. And I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, wow, is that what Simon calls jazz hands?
By any chance, when that came on the telly, did you feel the need to get in touch with me and be like, oh my god?
I almost, I left it in the car that week when I went shopping. I almost took a camera with me to take a picture with him to say, look, Simon, look what I found. But I was like, I didn't in the end.
Oh, on a brighter note, yay! You know my cafe that I normally go to?
Yes.
They finally have chocolate tart, and I finally had one.
Nice.
It's a miracle. I actually took a photo, for God's sake.
Nice.
Oh, okay, my sister actually took a photo on her phone, so I'll just send you that later on. That way, you can finally have a picture.
Yep. And I'll tell you a store I absolutely hate.
Oh, do tell.
Waitrose.
Snob Soros.
I hate Waitrose because I keep getting told by someone all the time that Waitrose is dirt cheap. No, they're good. They're just like Tesco's and stuff. And it's like, they're not.
No, it isn't.
You go in there and it's the same stuff, charged more. I don't get why. And I get that some people are posh, or some people are rich, or some people have more money or whatever, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you've got, you should always try getting the cheapest option for stuff. That way you keep your money. Pardon me.
Sorry?
But that way you keep your money. It's like, if you had a choice between spending, like, fucking £1 on, like, say, a loaf of Kingsmill, or £2, you go for the pound.
Exactly.
I don't understand it. And they're like, well, it's Waitrose. No. It's like Marks and Spencer's. Now, I will admit, I've been in Marks and Spencer's before now. I've ate from Marks and Spencer's because my gran used to take us, but I'm sorry. I hate Marks and Spencer's.
That's fine.
They don't sell any named brand shit. And yet their shit's more expensive. Their Coke is more expensive than Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
How?
God knows. You know what is bizarre? Like,
What's that?
The amount that pubs now charge you for booze.
Yep.
I mean, Jesus Christ, I love a Scotch and a Lux as much as the next bloke. And I occasionally, like once in a blue moon, indulge in a pint, God forbid.
Pints are awesome.
Agreed.
Well, recently I've got a new favourite drink.
What have you got?
In terms of alcoholic beverages. I used to, oh wow, that may be the poshest way of saying booze. Alcoholic beverages. You're rubbing off on me, Si. But no.
Those alcoholic beverages!
You just did!
Shut up!
But no, it's a case of, with the booze or the alcoholic beverages and stuff, I used to like John Smith's Extra Smooth. Yeah. And I still like that, it's a great beer. However, recently when I've been buying them at a supermarket or anything like that, if I've gone to a supermarket to buy alcohol for when I'm at home, I've been drinking rum.
Nice. Bacardi?
Nope. I think it's Captain Morgan or something like that. I don't know the name of it. It had a pirate on the front. And yes, I'm one of those people that still to this day will buy a product, a food or drink, depending on what the mascot is, based on being a kid, and that's how you used to judge breakfast cereal. So I'll be there and I'm looking at alcohol, I'm like, none of this looks good. Oh cool, a pirate!
Next click and pull. And Cocoa Pops.
Yep. And it's like Frosties. Frosties, all Frosties is cornflakes, which taste nicer. Covered in shit.
And they've got Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, they got Frosties, cornflakes, which taste nicer than Frosties, but they've covered the cornflakes in shit, which makes them taste worse. But the fact they have a tiger going, it's great, or doing extreme sports, makes you go, yeah, I want Frosties.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's like, be honest, you kind of like to you like the compare the market.com with the compare.
Oh, the meerkat, yeah.
Simple, no? I was so disappointed when I found out they started to sell those. I'm like, yay! But only to people that have their car insurance through them. And I'm like, oh, but I don't have a car. I want a meerkat. They should have sold them separately. You could have phoned them up and bought them. I would have bought them.
I think anyone on the planet would buy them. I
want a meerkat. It's like, I'll be honest, I own, in my bedroom, I don't do sexual things, do I need to point that out before I finish?
I don't
do a sexual things, he's on a shelf, because he looks cool. I own a Churchill dog.
Nice!
I know, and he nods. Oh, yes.
How did you get that?
They sold it somewhere. I can't remember what it was. I think it was when I was on holiday in Blackpool or something, and I was like, cool. I picked one up. I don't even know if it's official or not. I don't know. I don't care. It looks like the Churchill Bulldog. That's all I care about. And it goes, and it nods. And yes, when I nod it, I do the, oh, yes.
Son of a bitch.
It's like, as much as I don't like a Culture Club, I almost went out and bought one of those Camera Chameleon phones back when BT had them on the advert. Camera Chameleon.
Yeah. You sad bastard.
I almost went out and bought one until I thought, I don't know, I get a few phone calls a day. The house gets a few phone calls a day. Do I really want to listen to that over and over again? Because the novelty will wear off.
Yeah. Then again, we've all had those moments.
We do.
Jeff went through a Kylie Minogue phase.
Yep.
I went through... Well...
I would say puberty, but that hasn't hit yet.
Do you not? You're looking at me through a video screen. Do you see my full and manly beard, you bastard?
And by manly beard, he means it basically looks like a tennis ball. It's a little bit fuzzy, and that's about it.
Okay, it's a bit of stubble. Let me have it. I haven't shaved.
I mean, you're unshaved for 5 days, and you're still talking about your beard. It's hardly fucking like a Brian Blessed or fucking Gandalf or some shit.
To be fair, no one can get a blessed beard and make it look awesome.
Yep. Well, I will tell you something I've been enjoying recently. Slight guilty pleasure, because they're not that good. I'll admit.
Right.
I've been enjoying panel shows recently on TV.
Yeah.
Not all of them. I mean, I can't fucking stand Keith Lemon.
Ugh.
I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm sorry for the Brits listening to this. Hopefully there are British people listening, because most of the stuff we talked about is very British stuff, but I don't like Keith Lemon. Where his jokes are just like, oh, okay, I'm going to put my cock on you now. It's like, that's not funny.
Yeah. It's pretty redundant.
Yeah. I mean, I'll admit, the guy's clever. The guy playing Keith Lemon is clever. I'll give him that, because he knows when to do those jokes, what his audience will respond to, etc., etc. But I just don't like that sort of humour where it's like, it's so random and people just go, oh my god, he put his cock on him. Hilarious. No. Now, the panel shows I do like, in order of least, no, kind of in order. Sort of Would I Lie to You?
Right.
Because I love David Mitchell. I like Rob Brydon. Lee Mack I don't like.
Not many people do.
If they had someone else instead of Lee Mack, I would like that show a lot more. But I do like David Mitchell. Then after that, 8 out of 10 Cats has been funny recently.
You know, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, you should do. It's kind of funny. I want to see them do Countdown. I haven't seen that yet, but I heard it exists. I'm like, ooh, that could be fun. My absolute favourite panel show, say it with me, Simon. QI! Why is that hilarious? I like QI. I'm going to be honest, Stephen Fry is fucking awesome. Who doesn't love Stephen Fry? I'm going to go on record as saying Stephen Fry is our nation's sweetheart.
I'm inclined to agree. Because, come on, it's Stephen Fry.
It is. Now, don't get me wrong, not every QI is enjoyable. I mean, you get, wow, I don't know what that noise is, but yeah. I said, not every QI is enjoyable. Some of them...
Yeah, sorry, that's me putting the battery in.
In what?
In the laptop.
Okay.
In the dash.
Okay. I wasn't sure. That's just... all we hear is like, dum, 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 dum. It's like, that's just me putting the battery. I'm like, oh my god. Is he doing some sort of like sexual toy right now? Like, all we'll hear is...
Please get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm trying. You are a sexual deviant.
I am not!
Okay, for those listening, I'm not going to say Simon's a sexual deviant, but I will say, in this conversation right now, I am the only person allowed near public schools.
Dude!
I'm kidding.
Okay, that is not true.
That's not true. I can go there when they're closed. I'm kidding. But no, it's the thing of, like I said, not all QIs are good. Some of them aren't that good, because you get sometimes you get ones where it's like Joe Brand and stuff, and I don't like her either, but I will say, a panel show is good depending on whom is on it. If you have the right combination, they're fucking hilarious. And you can get away with one bad guest as long as the other two are really fucking good. Like, I hate saying this because he hasn't done anything wrong. I don't hate him physically or anything like that, because I like him in the TV show Moon Boy and stuff, but on panel shows, I don't like Johnny Vegas.
I know the name, but I can't remember who he is off the top of my head.
Monkey!
Oh, yeah!
That may be the worst impression ever. Monkey! No. But I don't like him, but I do like some combinations on all of them. Like I said, David Mitchell, awesome on any panel shows. King of panel shows right there. Love David Mitchell. His wife, Victoria Coren, awesome. Saw her on QI and stuff a couple of times. Awesome. Sean Locke, while I don't really like him that much, he's awesome on them. I like him on them, you know what I mean? Where some of them don't really work, but some of them really do. So, yeah, that was one of the things I've enjoyed this month. I've been enjoying some panel shows. And I'm sad that when I looked on American TV, they don't have as many panel shows or anywhere near the panel shows.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a bit more of them.
And there's a new one coming up.
Is it?
In the UK, yeah, on April 12th, I want to say. Which, it may have been on by the time this aired, but fuck it, we're filming this according to the 5th of April. Just for those of you listening, in case how bad or out of date anything is. Basically, they got a new one coming up called The Guest List.
Ooh. It's anonymous.
It is, and it looked pretty cool. They showed it off on there, and it looked enjoyable. I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. But I'll tell you something else I hate.
Fire away, Ducky and Warriors.
The Royals.
As in the royal family?
Yes.
God bless you.
I get it. They bring in a lot of tourism to the UK and yada yada yada, but I don't like them. They don't do anything.
I don't mind Harry and William because they actually do shit, like, you know, the whole armed forces and all that, but...
See, I don't like Harry.
Why is that then?
Oh, come on, he did drugs, dressed up as a Nazi and shit like that. I'm like,
Hey,
and even when he was in the army, there was all those reports and shit which seemed legit. I'm not going to say they definitely are, but they seemed legit. Of wherever he was, he had a fucking army of people in like a giant circle around him for like a mile or whatever it was, so no one could get close to him. So it was just a publicity stunt. I mean, you get actual men and women from this country go to war and die. Fucking no mention. Harry, the rich kid, goes there, and he's like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm now playing a war hero. Boom, boom, boom. Papers everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost disgusting.
You know what is disgusting?
2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Never seen it, but yeah, why not?
Oh, check it out, it's on Netflix. No, it's not on Netflix. It's never going to be on Netflix.
I know what it is.
I know you do. Hence why our show's named after it.
Because you mentioned it to me.
Yeah,
and you told me what it was about.
Hence why our shows are sadly named after 2 Brits, 1 show. It worked.
That's a lie, people.
That's not a lie.
Shh. We've got to maintain some modesty as British people. We don't really, but still. But yeah, I hate it whenever someone either gets killed and whatnot, or, you know, like the fucking Connecticut shootings that happened. last year or the year before?
I agree. I hate when people get killed too. That should be a law. People should not be allowed to be killed.
Okay, let me finish. You snarky bastard. But I hate how, like, the serial killers and all that, how they get the recognition. How everybody remembers their names, but they can't name one fucking victim.
Yep.
That to me is just disgusting.
Now, admittedly, there is a reason for it. It's like, how many World War II soldiers can you name?
Quite a few. I think because I remember back when I was at college, we actually did a physical theatre piece. And we had to list, we had to have like fucking, like actual people who were in the wars and all that.
Yeah, but I mean, off the top of your head, how many could you name? There's not that many you could name, whereas everyone's heard of Hitler.
Fair point.
I mean, yeah, okay, the guy was a little bad. Like I said before, now at least he made the trains run on time.
Wow.
And hey, at least he was a great artist.
Oh! Major irony got revealed in the newspaper today. Apparently Hitler's wife was actually Jewish. Like, of Jewish descent after they've done something, DNA test on her hair.
Nice.
How fucking ironic is that, man?
That's wonderful. But I will say, that's something I don't get.
Hmm?
And I'm about to say something a little controversial. Brace yourself, but Michael Jackson was a paedophile. Or alleged paedophile. He was a bad father, which I don't care whether or not you agree or disagree on that, because at the end of the day he still held his child over a fucking balcony.
Hmm.
You don't do that. And yet, the second he died, everyone's like, let's forget the bad. Let's talk about what a big fan we were about all his music and all that. It's like whenever a celebrity dies now, it's like, oh yeah, this guy died. I loved all his films. You didn't watch any of them. I loved them all. And it's like, I don't like that. And it's like, how come that happened, but yet no one sat around anymore saying, okay, Hitler was kind of bad, I'll admit, but god damn it, I loved his paintings.
I think that might have got lost midway through. It was looking good, don't get me wrong.
That was my point of, how come no one did that for Hitler? I mean, an artist now, they're like a musician or a film writer dies or something like that, and suddenly everyone was their biggest fan. But when Hitler died, everyone was like, yeah, Hitler's dead. No one was like, oh, God, I loved his paintings.
That
may just be my trail of thought.
I think it probably is just yours.
Yeah.
Just on the Hitler note.
But on the non-Hitler note, I will say I fucking hate people that do that.
Yeah.
Because I'll admit, a celebrity that died recently, that Harold Ramis from Egon from Ghostbusters, loved him. Big fan of his. I have no problem with him. However, like I mentioned with Michael Jackson, I was not a fan of Michael Jackson. I did not like the stuff I saw about him in the paper and stuff. And when he died, I didn't turn around and suddenly start going, oh my god, we've lost an icon. Why? Take me instead. It's like, no, fuck that shit. Stop doing it. And a lot of them are just people doing it on social media for attention, I swear it is. Or people say it to their friends because they're too afraid of what society thinks of, ooh, if I say I didn't like this guy now, or if I say, yeah, well, we lost a paedophile or something like that, everyone's going to be looking at me like, ooh, that's too harsh, or I need to be nice. And no, be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you mean. It is pretty frustrating when that happens.
It is.
You know, especially, like, when the people in question have openly slacked off the people, and then suddenly, as soon as they pass away, they change the tune out of some notion of respect.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I always say that's not respect. In my opinion, if you respect someone's death or something like that, don't think of them the way you wanted to think of them after they died. Think about the way that they actually were when they were alive. If you didn't like them, say you didn't like them. Because all the other way does, in my opinion, is makes you look like an attention drama queen of, oh, whoa, it's all about me. It's like, no, fuck off, be honest.
Mind you, I do not like it when people post their entire lives on Facebook. Crap.
I don't like that. I don't like Facebook as a whole, really.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten behind Twitter, but then again, with Twitter, it's more like the hit and run of social media. You can go in there, post a single sentence like, yay, I've been playing this game, woo, boom, leave. That's all you have to do. With Facebook, there's so many games integrated and people go on about so much stuff, and oh my god, the amount of times I've heard people nowadays talk about, well, the such and such said on Facebook, such and such, and it's like, who cares? Who cares what was written on Facebook?
Yeah. It's just like, okay, have you not got anything better to do with your time?
Yeah, the only time I care about what's on Facebook, and I do see some of this sometimes, is when it's an official company and they use Facebook to release the trailer for a new game or a new TV show or something. Then I might care.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got Facebook, but I don't use it a whole lot. I pop on just to say hi to people once in a blue moon, but...
Hi. And it's like a creepy smiley face.
Not in that way. But, you know, and, like, seeing half a dozen people just write about their whole lives and bitch about their days, or, like, even when they just take the time to complain about their work lives and all that, it's just like, come on, man. You not got anything better to do?
I will say, there's nothing wrong with people bitching and complaining over the internet. Hi to our audience. Because we're currently doing that right now. No, I had to point out the hypocrisy. No, I understand what you're saying, though. I don't like that either, where it's like, oh my god, this has happened in my life, and it's like a whole wall attack. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I've even heard people in real life say to people, but why didn't you speak to me on Facebook? And you're like, so I know what you're thinking. You're like, just stood right next to him.
And oh my god, this has absolutely nothing to do with anything at all.
Oh god.
I've actually, you know how I went to an anime convention, like, last week?
Uh-huh.
I actually found myself in a photo. Like, I wasn't even there. Like I can see myself in the background. Yay! I'm there!
See, now I'm disappointed.
What, were you expecting me to hold the camera?
No, I mean, you do it by mistake, and that's cool, congratulations to you, but I'm constantly on the internet looking at pictures of various stuff, trying to find you. I'm kidding. It's not like, where's Wally? Oh, okay, now where's Simon? Okay, he's not at the rugby game. Let's try cricket. No, he's not there. Oh, Dancing with the Stars. No, he's not there.
Why would I be on any of these?
You might be in the audience.
No!
I totally imagine you standing between sitting behind the judges on Strictly Come Dancing with your own scorecard to hold up. Just to see like you're one of them.
Sorry to disappoint you. Although that does sound like an awesome idea.
It does. But no, I'm glad you found yourself. Cool. And you had fun with that convention. Woo!
I did. I met Kyle Aber and fucking Patrick Seitz.
Nice.
Like, I met Eisen himself. It was awesome. Bought him a coffee too.
Cool.
Bless him, he was like majorly fucking jet lagged, so I was like, dude, do you want a coffee?
See, I'd like to think it went the other way. I'd like to imagine you saying to him, oh, you're jet lagged, you poor thing. Can I get you a hot drink? He's like, oh, yeah, sure, why not? Can you go in Starbucks or something and get me a cup of coffee? And there's you, my god, you're drinking coffee out of a polystyrene cup. You will drink tea out of a fancy teacup and you will like it. That's how I imagine that conversation went. How right or wrong am I?
Wow.
Am I very right or very wrong?
Very, very wrong.
Okay then.
Incredibly wrong.
But I will say that's something I hate as well. Like we mentioned then, with Strictly Come Dancing and stuff. I hate reality TV, like Strictly Come Dancing, X Factor and shit like that. I mean, yeah, okay, I watch, like I mentioned, I watch like the panel shows, which aren't exactly intelligent conversation, if that makes sense. Intelligent TV. Except for QI sort of skirts that line, but it's a case of you're watching like the panel shows and it's cool, it's celebrities, they're having fun and it's just a little bit of fun. You're watching reality TV and suddenly every fucking person on there has some sob story with why you should vote for them, and more people vote for Strictly Come Dancing and X Factor and shit like that than they do on the actual elections. That's depressing. That is depressing for me. And it's like, I don't like all these artists too that come up through X Factor and stuff, because I get, some of them could have talent. I understand some of them could have talent. But when you go on that show, it's going to get squandered, because you're going to spend a whole year being heavily pushed. Then the next year, you're not going to be pushed as heavily, because they're going to be pushing the next year's winner. And it's like other singers and stuff I've mentioned before now, where they go on stuff like that. If they'd have been forced to go on something like X Factor when they were younger and made it that way, they never would have been as big as they were now, because they need to try out the smaller bands. They need to find their thing, if that makes sense, and putting it in. And a load of reality TV as well. It's just the amount of people that go on there from the public is fucking stupid, like Big Brother.
I actually like Big Brother so.
I'm sorry, but Big Brother, it's like they find the most retarded people possible and put them in there. And I hate the idea of stuff like one year where they had a guy that hates homosexuals and transgender, and they've put him in the house with a transgender. What could happen? It's like, fuck off, you're just trying to make an argument here. And when it happens, people will be like, oh my god, did you see it? Such and such was totally talking to such and such, and they're totally bitching, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't care. I mean, it's mostly edited anyway, but it's like, I don't really care that these idiots are arguing in an idiotic way. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's like if you see a couple in the street, regular people, like the ones on Big Brother, if you see two people arguing in the street, do you fucking go and sit down next to them arguing, just eat popcorn and fucking watch them? And then when they're like, what are you doing? When your friend comes and sits down, you're like, okay, now here's what's going on. She doesn't like him because he totally slept with her sister. And he's like, oh no, bitch, I'm going to hit you upside the head. And she's like, you will not hit me. You don't do that. But why'd you do it if they put it on TV? It makes no fucking sense.
Because people love conflict.
But I will say, fair enough that you like Big Brother. There is one Big Brother I did like. The first ever celebrity Big Brother. The reason I say the first ever one, I didn't like it when they turned the celebrity Big Brother into Big Brother for washed up stars and stuff now. I did enjoy the first one for comic relief with stuff like Jack D in there and Chris, I think we had Chris Eubank and stuff.
Yeah.
That was funny, that was fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of get the idea it was deliberately made to be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But how about you?
I don't like a lot of reality shows. But for Big Brother, that is one of my guilty pleasures.
Yeah, fair enough, you like Big Brother. And I will say, the people in the Big Brother house are at least less retarded than the people on, and I'm sorry for this, but the people on Geordie Shore or The Only Way is Essex.
Absolutely no offense taken there.
Stuff like that. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, when I'm watching them, and they're all like, oh, they're like the most dumbest people ever. When I see these two people on something like The Only Way is Essex or something like that, if someone's got in the background and I happen to be there and I see these two people fucking, I kind of want someone, like a famous fucking like hunter or explorer or something, to just pop out and fucking shoot both of them and talk about how that's now helping our gene pool.
Testify.
Because it's like, wow, these two people are so fucking stupid that they can't tell the difference between fucking, like, Santa Claus and a goat. Do we really want them breeding?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like, that twat Joey Essex who's on there. He can't even tell the fucking time. He's like, thick as bat shit.
He is. Most of them are. And the one that shocked me is some of them, apparently, have got private school education.
What?
Yeah, some of them have private school education. I saw that on something the other day, and I was like, what? And I was watching them like, I went to public school. I wasn't that good at public school, I know that. Fair enough, I'm not exactly the most educated person, I know that. I'm still smarter than them. What's gone wrong?
God knows. I mean, you do get a lot of posh twats who come from fucking...
Hi, Sigmund.
Shut up. But you do get a lot of posh twats who come from, like, private schools and all that. Shut the fuck up, I'm not that.
I didn't say a word.
Just before. Stop thinking it. And, you know, and they can't even fucking string a sentence together or use basic common sense.
Yep.
And it's very much a case of, what the hell are they, you know, what are they teaching you? What are we wasting taxpayers' money for to teach you when you can't even do the most basic things in life?
No, it's like, I also hate it, so with similar thing of, I also hate the fucking memes that go around. I understand some memes are hilarious, like the picture ones and stuff where you like post a picture and it's like Dawson crying or something like that from Dawson's Creek. James Van Der Bleek. Woo! Yes, I like Dawson's Creek. But yeah. I don't wanna wait for life to be over. But anyway, I was gonna say, I don't mind stuff like that. The ones I hate with the memes are happy slapping or planking and stuff like that. It's like,
yes,
you look like an idiot. What are you doing? Oh, I'm lying down like a plank. Isn't this hilarious? No, you look like a homeless person.
But there's anything wrong with homeless people?
There's not. There's nothing wrong with homeless people, but homeless people try to make an effort and stuff. They don't try to look like homeless people. It's like you see a homeless person lying in the shop door because his friend's taking a photo for Facebook. That doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I just saw the advert. Oh, God.
What?
I knew it was coming up because of the games coming out for and stuff, but it hadn't dawned on me. The World Cup's coming up. Oh, God.
Yay.
Which means every house will now be flying an England flag because they're suddenly extra patriotic. And then they'll be like, yeah, England's awesome, woo! And then everyone will be like, yeah, we're definitely going to win this year. We have a great chance of winning. And then when we lose, it'll be something like, we've been screwed, or, oh, I don't know what happened there. And suddenly everyone takes down their flags and shit because they're not actually patriotic. They're waving it to support a fucking football team.
Yeah, I'm not patriotic, so I'm not going to be doing that shit.
I'm not patriotic, but I believe if you're I'm not that patriotic, but, I mean, I'm proud to be English.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, if it's one of those things of, if you're flying the English flag, it should be because you're patriotic. It should be because you like England. It shouldn't be because you're supporting the England football team and the second they go out, you take it down.
Yeah.
That's sort of disrespectful for what that flag represents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you mean.
And the reason I said, oh God, with the World Cup is, you know what's going to happen now, don't you? Everyone's going to be talking about football.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope they don't bring in that fucking law they brought in last time.
They brought in a law?
Last time or the time before last, in World Cup, I remember it was Labour and stuff, and they were like, okay, here's what we recommend. We're going to say that if football match is on at the time people are working and stuff, you have to have a TV there and give people the option to watch the football game while they're working, so they don't skive off work and stuff. And I'm like, no, if they skive off work, fire them and get the unemployed people that aren't doing that to fucking take over. Who gives a shit? You shouldn't bend over backwards for football. No.
Morons.
Yeah, and it's going to be the same thing now. I can see it where suddenly, like for example, where you work, say, you're going to have the football game on.
Probably.
And it's going to be a bunch of people going, yeah, come on England, yeah, and the second we lose, oh, we're fucking shit, I knew we'd lose. It's like, no, you didn't 2 seconds ago. 2 seconds ago, you were like, yeah. And just 2 seconds later, like, yeah, I kind of knew this was coming. It's like, no, you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I see the World Cup coming up again in the future. I think we've recorded a good one here today.
Indeed.
With this show, basically, for you listening who stuck with us to the end, we have no format. It's just us ranting about regular shit.
That's why normal people.
Well, I am, but it's because it's because regular shit needs to be talked about too. I mean, it's cool to sit down like I do with the others, and I do on my own and stuff. Where it's cool to sit down and review a video game or a TV show or something, which is cool. There's a market for that, and I enjoy that. But it's also cool to just sit down and just talk about what the fuck is going on with you in terms of the peeves that go on in our lives, like Angry Birds and how much we fucking hate Angry Birds.
I haven't played Angry Birds, and I don't particularly want to.
They took a game that was free, put a load of cartoon birds on it, charged people money for it, and yay!
Oh, plus I think the creator's a bit of a dick.
I do too, but I don't like it, and I don't like how everyone's now like, oh yeah, Angry Bird, and Angry Birds has become the go-to game to people mention and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I saw people the other day on a TV show, I can't remember what the fuck it was talking about now, but they were like, oh yeah, I see you now, you're gonna be doing all that stuff you've seen on Angry Birds to take this thing out, this stupid Angry Bird generation or whatever it was, and I'm like, no, talk about something else, talk about one of the other games. I mean, if anything, I had to call this game this generation anything in terms of games, as much as I don't like them, I'd call it the Call of Duty generation.
Mm-hmm.
I'd not call it the Angry Bird generation. But Angry Birds has somehow become... It's like back in the day. Do you remember in the 90s? Or you may not have been born then, but do you remember you may have seen reruns of 90s TV shows where basically anytime anyone had to mention video games, they mentioned Nintendo.
Yeah.
And now it's Angry Birds. It's like, oh. But...
Yep.
Yep, but... As usual... I was your host, Chriz AKA Mole. And as usual, he's my co-host.
Yo. And goodbye.
See ya.